Hey guys, this is Namkraft. What's going on? Welcome to another series of Starcraft English commentary. We'll continue on with the DPL series. These days we've not had that many great games, not any games at all in fact, but we will have a nice one today between two kings, one former king and one current king, one ex-president and one ex-ante president about to be ousted. I don't know if you're following the latest news. The US just bombed the heck out of Iran, man. A lot of stuff happening in the world, but what about in Starcraft? Will Flash bomb the hell out of the hatcheries of Soulkey here? It's gonna be Flash vs Soulkey as part of DPL. The map is Metropolis. Let me just quickly show you some relevant information. So first of all, here is the map Metropolis, two-player map with Flash spawning at the top right in blue and Soulkey spawning at the bottom right in brown. And yeah, some nice exciting times ahead of us here. Let's see, of course, all of these guys are training hard for ASL Season 20, especially Flash. I don't know if he will be participating or not. We shall see. We need to fight from the prelims. You know, in my country they call it the parking round. You know, before you actually get to the prelims, you need to park your bike or your car or your motorbike or whatever, and this is where Flash will have to fight from. But anyhow, yeah, let's see if Soulkey's has perfected his build against Terran, because previously we remember that Flash just destroyed Soulkey with his Goliath's build, 3 fast Goliath's build. But this time around, let's see, he's gonna be going for a barracks first, not a 14cc, and it looks like it is going to be Soulkey who's got a slight advantage here, because even though this barracks is very much forward, and usually the Terran player gets an upper hand in the early stages when they're about to apply a lot of pressure with the early Marines, Soulkey has gone so good with defending against early Marine pushes. He just pulls the right number of drones. I remember, I think he pulls every single drone out there, and he leaves 2 in the main to counter any kind of early Marine aggression. For example, against a proxy barracks, against a forward barracks only, I think he might leave 3 or 4 drones in the main. I'm not sure how the economics would work out, but anyhow, the first Marine from Flash is outgoing. Let's see if he is going to be able to do anything about it. Soulkey, he arrives now, he sees the Marine leaves. I think this drone, is it trapped? I think it pretty much is trapped, but the thing is that Soulkey can see that there is no gas follow-up, so this means that it is not going to be a vulture follow-up. Flash will expand. He has yet put down the expansion yet, Flash, so Soulkey doesn't actually confirm it. But he could actually have reasonable suspicion. Anyways, the bunker goes up and the Marine is out, and I really like the fact that Soulkey has not pulled his drone prematurely, because this bunker, is it within reach of the hatchery? I guess it is not. That SCB has taken way too much, and there's actually another Marine getting trailed by the drone. You've got to be very careful. Anyways, this SCB is going to be blocking very nicely, and the other Marine will join. He needs to repair as hard as possible, and he does repair, and these Zerg is going to try to trap the other Marines behind, but it looks like the other Marines will be out here, you know, defending the main. So I think Soulkey has always done the correct thing. He's going to come back from all sides, and Flash is going to let his bunker die. He might take a Zergling. He takes nothing. He takes 1 Zergling, and that's it. So this rush failed as expected. So I'm not even so sure if you know, as Flash, it's even worthy to go for that. I guess it does. But one other thing you can think of is it possible to send a Marine out and then send it back? Just as you anticipated, the Zerg player is going to be making a lot of Zerglings. So when he makes a lot of Zerglings, you don't really need to invest a lot in that bunker. Anyway, Zerglings are looking to go in. They surround. No. Looks like Soulkey's overestimated the defenses that Flash has got, and Flash is gonna push out a little bit here with his 5 Marines. Of course, this is nothing to worry about, because without medic support and without upgrades, those Marines are weak as hell. We will have a Spire, in-base Spire. Metropolis, keep in mind this map. I'm not so sure if you can actually my mouse. You can see my mouse here, but these areas here, these areas here will be tough for Soulkey to defend in the mid to late game. But these areas here will be tough for Flash to defend in the early to mid. But anyways, we will have to talk about that later, because the Marine's gonna get into the corner. He will get 1 drone, 2 drones, very nice. He loses 5 Marines in exchange for 2 drones. Is it the right trade? Because the other drones also coming out and they have not been mining. And look at that drone getting stuck in the corner for a while. Anyways, these Zerglings will be heading towards Flash's bases, but I think Flash has got enough to cover it. The drone count for Soulkey is not good. Not good at all. This Spires is almost completed, but I'm not so sure if that is going to make up for the fact that there were 2 drone snipe, and also there's just a bit of lost mining time there. But anyhow, we shall continue on with the battles. Let me just maybe quickly show you how the Elo stats are stacking up these days. So here are the top 10 Broodwar players. Let me just quickly show it to you. And surprise, surprise, Flash is not on any list as of today. There he is. Soulkey is where's Soulkey? There he is at number 4. Hold on, I'm sorry, I have to kind of move this correctly back. Yeah, so Soulkey is number 4. Yeah, sorry, these are kind of not really in the right places. There we go. There is Soulkey. And then anything else I can show you today? This is probably not what I want to show you. This is the overall, you know, ASL performances of all of the players, and as you can see, Soulkey is now actually 4 golds. No, wait, hold on. How many does he have? 3 or 4? Whatever. I'm not actually in the Starcraft war anymore. Anyways, Much is going to be coming out for harassments. From Soulkey, he's got only 5. 5 is the decent starting amount. And of course, but I think it reflects a little bit of the weak position that he's in, Soulkey. Yeah, his drone count is not good, and he doesn't have enough hatcheries anywhere else on this map, so he's gonna have to either do 6 damage or feign some attacks and come back and build a lot of economy. For now, he's gonna abuse his terrain. So like I told you from early to mid game, this terrain will be the weakness of Flash. Nice attack, and Flash is not repairing the turret, and Marine's gonna be coming from the back, and those Mitchlists are kind of weak, but I think it's gonna be better for the Mitches to go out and assault the other side, man. Assault this area, for example. Because there are not a lot of tourists there. There are about 4. Anyway, some nice attacks, and more Mitchlists coming out, and Flash might be waging a counter-attack to force the Mitchlists back home. And the Overlord has seen it. The Overlord has seen the troop moving across the map, and Flash is gonna try to come from the other side. We're seeing some Zerglings. I think these are Zerglings waiting to go in for kind of a surround. So Flash has got to be super careful, because his Marine, what are these called? Units or platoon is not very large in number. He's got about maybe 10 Marines. He's doing great stim. He gets another muta. But we might have a surround from the Zerglings on his side. Very nice attack. They come through. The Zerglings actually not getting involved correctly. They're gonna try to get some medic. Now the angle is much better for Flash, but Flash loses everything anyhow. The last of the Mitchlists will come in and destroy. So that was a nice attack by Soulkey. But what about the economical damage? Because during this time, how many drones could Soulkey muster? Because keep in mind, he is still on 2 hatcheries. He has not yet expanded. He has not taken even an in-base hatchery. I don't know if he's actually gone for something like the Queen's Nest out of 2 hatcheries and try to rush to Defiler, or maybe he's making a Hydrodan somewhere and try to rush to Lurkers. I don't think that is the case. But anyways, that last turret has fallen down. Very, very nice precision strike by Soulkey. He knows he can 2-shot those turrets. Anyways, Marine's gonna come out, and Soulkey is gonna try to initiate a base trade or what, man? Queen's Nest is gonna come out as well as Hydrogen, but these Marines are moving across hot. You need to catch the back Marine. He gets it late stim from Flash. He loses 2 Marines, and once again Soulkey is slowly wearing out Flash's forces, but there are only about 10 mutas remaining. Another mutas have fallen down to 9. So Flash is actually gaining some grounds here, and let's see if Soulkey will have enough time. I think Flash is waiting kind of too much in the middle, so that I think by now Soulkey's Hydrogen would have completed, and he will be researching lurkers, but it will be far until he actually can get some lurkers on the ground. Some great attack, but these mutas are so thin out. They're so thin out. There are, what is it, 5 mutas remaining, but they get the last of the Marines. So nice last minute strike. Supply wise, you can see Flash is got about the even supply of Soulkey. This is expected because of the mutas. They will come back in, but there are so many turrets. These mutas would be better to not wage any kind of attacks, but these SVs out here once again are kind of being useless. And once again, Soulkey is the master of low economy Zerg play. He is just so good with keeping the minimal number of drones, going for great maneuvers, and try to win with just as little as possible. He gets the supply depot, Wow, look at those turrets wall. Those are like the walls of China, which I visited a couple of weeks ago. Anyways, 11 mutilates coming from Soulkey is quite nice. Flash's temporary supply block. He has started to make the first, I think those gotta be science vessels. Making a Valkyrie would be a huge mistake right now. Don't make Valkyries. Valkyries suck. Just make science vessels because you can reuse them even if you don't attack the mutants. You can use them on the lurkers. You can spot any kind of, you know, stop lurker trickery and all of that stuff. Anyways, I just saw the movie. Very random, I know, but I just saw the movie How to Train Your Dragon, the live action version. Very nice. I recommend to all of you to go and watch it. Another movie that I've seen that was fun too was Final Destination Bloodlines. If you're a fan of the Final Destination series that goes way back, I think all of us Starcraft lovers have enjoyed the first Final Destination. Please go ahead and check out that movie. That was great, amazing. And then there's 28 years later. I think all of us Starcraft fans have watched 28 Days Later. This movie is a little bit not so great, but it's okay. I mean, if you love that kind of dysfunctional, what is it, post-apocalyptic world, zombie fest kind of movie, then it's a nice thing for you. Why is he making a lot of tanks? I see that there are lurkers on the field, but with these science vessels you don't really need tank. Nice attack and slow response from Soulkey. Anyways, these lurkers are waiting out here. Just yeah, I know he's got enough to cover, but of course those tanks will help to push out. I think 2 tanks is enough. You don't need 3 or 4. Well, he cannot afford 3 or 4, but you don't want to have too much because you know, the primary purpose of the tank is to siege up, or not even just siege up, just do normal attack against the lurker, because I think the tank outranged the lurker. Anyways, coming in for most of the tanks are not yet sieging. He's gonna have to wait for the lurker to deploy and retreat. He loses the first sciences without casting an irradiate, and now he's gonna have to push all the way back. And Soulkey has done the impossible with so little. Out of just 2 hatcheries, he has done the impossible. He's pushed Flash back into his home base now, and immediately he puts on a hatchery at the bottom left of the screen. Very nice, you can see it right there. And now he's got a numerical advantage. He killed 2 tanks, he killed 1 science vessels, and the filers are here. I guess this one tank is gonna have to come out and try to slow down the enemy and get as many lurkers as possible. He damages some lurkers, but they're not fully destroyed. And we need to have another nice attack coming out, so the tank have to push up slowly and then retreat slowly, because the defiler is here. The tank will attack. He gets the first lurker. He will have to unsiege right away. The marine will need to stop right there to slow down the Zergling's attack to save the tank. He comes in this defiler once again, going for crazy attack, and the tank needs to actually siege on high ground. And what the hell is this? Guardians coming out of nowhere, just chasing those marines all the way up top here. The science versus doesn't have energy, and now it's gonna have to go back. Some firework come out. Of course, there's still some science vessels to support. He does some nice irradiate, but those Guardians will be within reach of the base. Now this is a beast, Soulkey. I mean, he is so good. During this entire time, he was on 2 bases. I believe so. He did not have enough economy, and now the very nice tech switch in the middle of everything. And Flash is underprepared. He's caught with his pants down and his keyboards up in the air or something like that, because he's not reflecting, he's not reacting correctly. He's got 2 tanks on the high ground. This will be buying some time, but now the command center is within reach of those Guardians, and I guess in some cases you do need Valkyries. In some cases you do need Valkyries, but now those Guardians are so strong. And massive comings from all sides. The science vessels need to run out. The tanks are going to get destroyed. All of those SVs need to go on the high ground. We have the first raid. Now you need to have raid, and there's even Devourers to support, so that raid without anything, without upgrades, and also without Cloak. You cannot. I think Cloak is underway, sure, but Flash is trying to hold on. His supply count not so bad. About the same supply. He's gonna have to save his forces as much as possible. These Guardians have breached the first turret defense line. Anyway, so Zerg is gonna be within reach of the barracks now. He's gonna come out. He's gonna be very careful. He will lose the first raid, but there's a lot of turrets to support. The science vessel's got double science. He's not using it. He's got a, okay. Did he lose 1 science vessel in the process? I'm not so sure. Massive Zerglings come to, and now there's gonna be nothing to field those barracks. Zerglings are within reach of everything. The Marines gonna have to retreat very safely here. Those Guardians are still alive. There are about 5 or 6 Guardians. There's gonna be a double raids hiding in the corner, but everything getting destroyed. An amazing performance by freaking goddamn King himself. Soulkey has completed completely outstripped Flash of all of the clothes he's got on his body. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, I'll be buying, commenting. It's going to be in the soon. Bye bye.